Hello trainers, Ganeto here, and since my latest videos have been a flop, well today we're gonna return into Ultra League with a very meta line. So today not only we're gonna showcase this amazing team, but also we're gonna showcase it against very bad lead scenarios. So this fire starter from Paldea is obviously a very bad one for our Alola Sansla, so hopefully we can have a better matchup with our Charizard, right? Yes again, because this time we're gonna have Ampharos on the switch, and this Pokemon can be kind of a troublemaker, not only for my Charizard that goes down fairly easy up against it, but also against Sunslash. Hopefully we can take it out of the way as soon as possible with a simple drill run and one more to follow for the fire type. So they will pop out that shield, but now Dragonite can go in and start doing some solid work against this Skelleridge. I think that is the correct name. Anyways, they have a Pokemon like Greninja at the back, which is a dark type, and this is obviously a very good battle for my superpowering Pokemon. So Dragonite with the undercharge, but still more than enough to do lethal damage, and one Dragon Claw will most likely put at a difficult position this fire starter. Able to shield here, and if we can do that correctly, hopefully we can farm down with the debuffed Dragon Breaths, and we can start off the video with a very solid victory. Into the next one now with a Galarian Stunfisk up in front. This is not looking that great, to be honest, because here on Ultra League, well, they can still survive one drill run with ease, while one Earthquake might put us in a difficult situation. So I'm just gonna block here because that was a CMP and I had a feeling that they would not go for the bait on the CMP. So right after, we're just gonna get to our Dragon Claws with our Charizard. So this Talon Flame can be kinda problematic for us, because look at how easy it is for it to charge up to a full scale of Incinerates, and right after it will just annihilate down with a simple Brave Bird my Pokemon. So I did not want to bring my Alola Sandslash into play, but I knew that they needed only one more Incinerate for the next Brave Bird. Hopefully we can finally farm down, and right now we are in a pickle because they're having a Jellicent here and things aren't looking that great. How can we possibly turn this around? So stay tuned and learn, because we're just gonna reach to the superpower banquet for the end game, and now that we know that they have the shield, we will try to pressure for it. They will keep it for the Stunfisk, but to be honest, over here we can have the upper hand because the final drill run will grab the shield out of play, and right after we will fall short to the Earthquake, but we still have that superpower from before, and that will deal lethal damage on the Stunfisk. So well played to my Dragonite over here. Hopping into the next one now with a Virizion up in front. So this Pokemon can always be problematic for a lot of teams, but when you're having a double flyer on the face of Charizard and Dragonite, always you can work with those two up against any fighter out there. So Iliolisk is another hard counter to my Charizard, but I will not let them go ahead and farm it down completely, because they still have to respect the damage from my Blast Burns. So first we took the shield, and right after we can return into the battle with our Alola Sandslash. Do you remember me going up against Ultra League with my own Iliolisk? That's why I know how they will play this out, and of course I know their moveset with Grass not being the second charge attack, knowing that we can resist pretty much anything with our Sandslash, and we can take full advantage of those Shadow Claws being double resisted to get even more energy towards our side. Enough about Sandslash. Once again the fire starter from Paldea up against our Dragonite, but this time we have the upper hand since we got the shields and they have none. Able to block just once, and right after we will see that we need to respect the damage from a potential Stone Edge. However, they have just a Sacred Sword, and with that in mind, I am pretty sure that the next superpower will deal so much damage up against them, and with a back-to-back combo we can still reach to the Ice Punch and the victory for this battle. Into the next one now, and we're having Poliwrath up against us. So this is not looking that great. We have to get out of here to our Charizard, and Poliwrath is a troublemaker because Ice Punch can definitely hurt my Dragonite, Scald can definitely hurt my Charizard, while counters are just gonna do double super effective damage to my Sandslash. So one of the worst leads that you can get out of there, and once again we have an electric type on the switch. Are you kidding me? Hopefully though they will go down, and to my surprise they have a second fighter at the back, a weird third ABA team for Open Ultra League, and all of a sudden we might have a win con, but first we need to sacrifice our Sunslash. To my surprise here, I will not block and we can still survive the Mud Bomb. Are you kidding me? This is looking pretty good. Just gonna get here to the drill run, even though they're trying to catch. I saw the catch, but I was still trying to do some cheap damage on that Pokemon, and I know now that having the upper hand with the shields might actually prove to be one of the best things that I have done on this battle. Dragonclaw is coming up, down goes Poliwrath, and right after this Toxicroak stands no chance. They know that, and we're gonna take this victory for this battle. Into the next one now with the amazing Cobalion up in front, another fighter, another day at Go Battle League. So you can see that we're having only bad leads for this video, and the main reason for that is to showcase even more the biggest assets that this team has to offer for the Ultra League. And trust me when I say this, this is the best ABB team that you can use for the Open Ultra League format. Down we go to that simple Stone Edge with our Charizard, but still we have Dragonite, which can definitely outspeed to the next charge attack, and my superpower will be so clutch up against that Cobalion. So over here we can definitely tank the Surf, so it all depends on what they have at the back, and it is gonna be the Pidgeot. They're gonna reveal it pretty early here, but to be honest, we can have the upper hand with those Ice Punches. Hopefully we can still bring them to no HP with back-to-back Ice Punches before they destroy us down. I'm afraid a little bit of the Brave Bird, but instead they get to the Feather Dance, which is very good for us. So this final Feather Dance, we break them at a very low point. Just realize that they also have Gust over here, and now the Tapu Fini that will return to the battle might have the upper hand typing wise, but to be honest, the shields are working towards our advantage, since right here we can still reach to the superpower for resisted damage and do one more for back-to-back attacks, and right after we can still farm down with those much debuffed Dragon Breaths up against a fairy type Pokemon. Into the next one now with that amazing Swampert up in front. So Swampert is definitely not the worst lead that you can get, but still a bad one because it has access to Earthquake, and we're just gonna fall to that move in one shot if we cannot block correctly. So guess what? We're just gonna get one shot down, and right after we're gonna respond back at them with our Dragonite, which is kinda good I guess, and they will sacrifice their Swampert for the greater good. But first they will take out my Sandslash and almost the entire HP out of my Dragonite. So right here I have to still reach to my superpower for big damage on that Pokemon, so they have to respect it. And with Wolverine into play, I have a feeling that at the back might be lying something like a Scrafty. I'm not sure yet, because they definitely need some extra coverage for a Steel type Pokemon, something like a Red Steel, not only Swampert up in front but at the back as well. So Wolverine here will grab both of my shields out of play, and we were not correct about them having a fighter, but instead they have a Venusaur. So right here we can still farm down with those wing attacks. Did you see that perfect undercharge before? Well, that worked, and right after the Blast Burn will do massive damage on that Wolverine because I have a rank 1 for Ultra League Charizard. I am pretty glad that we can still survive that move and absolutely get the win for sure. Into the final one now, trainers, and we're having another hard check for our Sandslash. Once again, we're just gonna switch out into our Charizard, and we will try our best up against this Dragon type Pokemon. Of course, Giratina can always beat us down to those bulk points, but as you can see here, even a Dragonclaw will not do enough damage. Another one is coming off, hopefully not an Ancient Power, and we can still hold on to our perfect IVs for PvP at least, and for Ultra League. So over here now we're having a Dragonclaw, we can grab the shield, and I stopped hitting over there. I did not lag at all, okay, I just stopped hitting because I wanted the maximum amount of farm for my Alola Sandslash. Doing so now, we can have kinda the upper hand up against the Virizion, even though we take double super effective damage from those fighting moves. At the back they have a Charizard of their own, so right here Dragonite can absolutely beat them down because we have the upper hand with the shields as always. So you can see that the strategy strategy here is to aggressively switch into our Charizard to draw out the counter that our Dragonite is afraid of, and then we can have the clear field for us to sweep over here with a shield advantage. Down goes Charizard before the CMP, and right here they cannot reach to the Stone Edge because perhaps they do not even have it, and we can still reach to our superpower for massive damage and lethal at this point to the Virizion, and we're gonna grab this victory with all those bad leads along the way. So thank you for watching, trainers, and for staying till the end. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, and please consider subscribing to my channel if you already haven't for some reason. Also, I have 2 videos for you to check out over here, so feel free to do so, and I will see you all into the next one.